with our weekly interview. Tonight's guest, Commander Ascorbius, here with me. Say hello.
Hello.
And also we've got here Dr. Nagi with me,
Hello.
who will guide us through the questions we have on hand. Also doing the video stream is Chankk.
Why is the sky on fire?
And as a secret guest addition, we do have also with us Commander Turgeon Starstone. Say hello again.
Hello there.
So, still tonight's star is Commander Ascorbius. For you guys who don't know him, he's a YouTuber. I can't really say that much myself about him because all I did was join one of his streams a few weeks back when we were interviewing Turgeon, and he took me along. We will be going off some questions we have prepared for you. Nagi, do you want to?
I think since we got Chankk here, he might go with the first one. You know which one.
They're not going to be like hard questions, are they? Like, there's no maths or spelling questions or anything like that, because I'm not very good at the spelling questions.
Neither am I, and I'm an English teacher.
If it's helping you fill in forms...
No. We will only be asking you for answers to the most current quantum physics questions. So,
I'm not giving my PIN number out no matter how much you ask.
All right, so... I think, I guess if I'm going to ask the first question, that's a good place to start. What are your opinions on the M87 black hole photo and the technical work that was required to actually achieve that, which took over a decade, as we might all know, even though the photo only took 4 days to actually record the visual information from microwaves in order to compile it?
What are my feelings about it? Okay. Well, I think it is a tremendous effort, and I think that there's been a lot of detractors on the internet who said, "Oh, it's a bit blurry." All that time and effort for a blurry picture. The fact that they've got it is a serious question. The fact that they've been able to make it in the first place, and Frontier have altered the black hole in the game, haven't they?
That wasn't the real question.
Oh,
you know what question we mean.
You weren't expecting that answer, though, were you?
Nope. Not at all.
Welcome to Distant Radio, everybody. I guess I as somebody who, unlike Nagi and Mykl, and obviously Turgeon, who are well aware of you, I am not so much. So it would be good if you could maybe give yourself an introduction so I can kind of get to know who you are and your place with us in the universe. We all share together.
Well,
yeah, I nailed it.
After I've finished wiping away the tears that you don't know who I am, and look, all this hard work that I put in isn't even recognised. No, I'm Commander Ascorbius. I have been making content now for 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years. Oh God, has it been that long? I started out with just very simple videos. With observations that I've made in game of things that are a bit silly or rules that are just a bit stupid, and why do we do this? Can't we do it a different way? And I really got into it when I saw Turgeon Starstone's videos. Actually, it's all his fault. He got me into it with his Mojo
That's
Moon
an
video.
interesting way of putting it.
Yeah, his Mojo Moon video. Like, it's like, you can tell stories with this. Good stories as well. So I started to watch. I just binge watched all of his videos, and then there was one with Josh Hawkins in as well. And I was like, "Who's this guy?" Then I started watching the broadcast, and then started getting to know those guys as well. And then they started helping me with videos, and it just all escalated from there, really.
I can relate. That sounds like a very familiar story to my own, and why I'm here, Nagi.
Hashtag blame Nagi.
I'm not the one who added you to the group chat. You added me.
But I mean,
Yeah, that
is,
was revenge.
that is actually really interesting, and it is kind of exciting to recognize that we are part of this community that is open to having new members and bringing new people in with new ideas in how to really share so much experience that's available out there.
I think I was the first person to do lip sync videos in Elite Dangerous.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, because it always used to frustrate me that the only heads that you could see are the heads behind the black visor. This is before we got the character creator side of things. So it was always just the visors, wasn't it? And or it would just be from the either external using the debug camera, which was a wonderful thing, and I'm glad they kept it in. I was always worried, debug camera, that means they're going to take it out. Don't take it away. We really like it. Only for them to really add to it. And was it 2.2 that they added the
Hollow
new
Me
camera stuff?
and the camera.
With the Hollow Me
Something like that.
and there's the new camera which we had to learn how to use all over again. But it had depth of field and focus and all that good stuff, which I never use because I record mostly in VR. So that was great. Yeah, I pioneered a few tricks to help me to record footage and then put CGI heads on them. So how many people here use VR, especially for exploration? Because oh my god, it's such a good.
Well, I would love to, but I couldn't afford a headset yet.
Oh, it's.
Yeah, me too.
I think
you
without
have the graphics power though.
you have got it.
Yeah, I have the graphic card for it. Yes.
Yeah, VR for me made the game. It's absolutely made the game because I think without the amazing community and the very welcoming community that it is, and VR, I might have stopped playing because it's a game best enjoyed with friends, and
True.
when you're in VR as well, you're really there with them, and you really get that sense of exploring together or doing things together, even if it's something as mundane as mining. You're there with your friends. But the VR thing also let me record footage like a steady cam. So I take the headset off and I could see myself only without a head. That gave me an idea. I'll put a head on that. So I did a video called The Villainous way back when now. Oh my goodness, how old is The Villainous? And I had to figure out how to lip sync characters and how to attach CGI rendered heads onto bodies with the correct camera angles, and there's even an entire CGI character in there in a Cobra Mark III, the spare cockpit seat.
So
February
you had
2017, by the way, Scott.
that's in essence you had to learn what's it called, compositing in video.
Yeah.
God.
So I did all the renders using a piece of software called DAZ Studio, which has got amazing posing ability and characters, and it's mostly used to render bikini models. Should be told for people. It's got a lot of bikinis. Oddly enough, for that marketplace, there's a lot of bikinis. But
Some of them are for women.
And some of them are for women. Yeah, it's very inclusive website. It's fantastic. Although
People got their priorities.
they do. So I started putting that together, figuring out how to lip sync characters very badly. Spent a fortune on this thing, and then composited all of the rendered heads. I had thousands and thousands of frames of rendered heads, and I had to composite them onto the correct angle for the correct shot. Story, and that was a video that Turgeon was actually in as well. So he provides the voice work for one of the characters. And it was the first time I'd worked with him, and I was really nervous because I'd seen all of his videos, and I was like, oh no, maybe he would want to talk to me, and I'll just ask him. Turgeon, would it be okay for you to do a voice for me? And he's like, yeah, what's the script? Oh, he said yes. Quick, send me the script. Okay, there's no rush for it. You can do it whenever you want. It's perfectly And like 3 hours later, he sends me back the completed line. Oh,
He didn't know. I'm just a hoe, really.
I listened to it. It was really good. I was like, I've got to do it now, haven't I? I've got to do it. So I spent bloody ages after that stitching together the camera angles and lip syncing it and putting the footage together. I think it took me about 3 weeks, that one. It's only short. It's to do with the pirates that, when you'll be carrying bio waste.
Yeah.
You get a pirate coming over and said, "Look at that tasty cargo." Ew, I'm carrying bio waste. That's basically cans of poop. What do you want that for? But apparently came up with the idea of it's too slow to type them a personalized message. So they've got some hotkeys which they just press and it sends out a canned message. That's why they're all canned messages. So they always say the same thing. Good job I found you first. And all that stuff.
I think that is an inside joke from Frontier.
Maybe.
Or something like that.
I think it's my most popular video, that one, which is I really enjoyed doing it as well.
So are your videos following an overall story, or are they just each on their own?
Yes. No. Maybe.
What? Okay.
They started out.
I like this guy. That's a Chankk answer right there.
That's it. Yeah, they started off following a story. No, they started off not following a story and just like observational comedy. I tried to make them comedic, and then during the summertime, I said 2 years ago now. Oh my god, it's been so long. Oh god. There was this whole thing about the Guardian ruins. Like everybody was looking at the Guardian ruins and trying to figure out what they meant. And like a lot of my videos, there's an element of satire in them, and because I'm not a fan of having to use third-party tools to solve problems in the game, like having to use Audacity to record the audio from a Thargoid thingamabob and then have to play that through a visual spectrum analyzer and then to see a pattern which you then have to go and analyze and figure out what the thing means. The fact that you have to use external tools and it wasn't something in the game really irked me a bit, because it felt like that wasn't for me, if that makes any sense at all. Like, these puzzles are for somebody else. So somebody got a kick out of it, and the first person to solve it, I think it was Canon. The guys at Canon, they solved it pretty quick because they poured immeasurable resources and immeasurable intellect far greater than mine on the problem, and they solved a lot of the things. But the fact that I had to use external tools, I thought, right, sod it. How would Ascorbius solve this with external tools? So I put a drill tank into the game, and I went and dug brute force into the Guardian ruins, obviously using CGI, and I found an alien. So now I have an alien on my crew. He's a Guardian, which means every scene he's in, he has to be rendered and animated, and so it just went downhill from there. Really, just when my life got more and more progressively more difficult and painful from that point on. So yeah, trying to find a link to these.
He decided to share his agony with his original mentor and said, "Turgeon, you must do lip syncing." And so they corrupted me, him and Machine, and got me to do lip syncing. So you can blame them for the lip syncing that I do now.
Blame Ascorbius.
He got his own back. He got his own back, you see, for getting him into the videos.
But then Turgeon gets his own back by doing it better than I do. So
you've still got better models there. DAS models are better.
They're good. I do like the DAS assets. Although saying that, your flight suit is amazing. The model you've got for the flight suit now is absolutely amazing. I'll say that.
Oh, the retexture. Yeah, I did have fun with that.
So you're just complimenting each other.
Yes, we do that a lot. Yeah. No, we don't. we usually sniping at each other. We hate each other, really. This is the public face for radio.
Yeah. So secretly we're sending each other like dead animals in the post.
Yeah, hate each other.
I can't go there. I can't do that. My mind is going on a strange and dangerous turn. Oh, yeah. No, I've learned a lot from Turgeon, to be honest. He's very good at storytelling. I learned storytelling stuff from him.
Well, I've learned all technical stuff from him, you see, so it balances out.
Yeah, it does balance out. We actually got a good team on there, mostly aimless, including Commander Machine. And Spatula's kind of, he's one of us.
He
But he
is.
does his own thing, doesn't he? He's got a very...
In as much as he's one of anything. Yeah, he's one of one. Spatula.
101.
I don't know if... Are you aware of Commander Spatula?
We are aware of many things and many people.
That sounded very CIA, didn't it? We are aware of many things and many
Distant
people.
radio.
We know what you've done, Ascorbius.
We're closer than you think.
are.
And we will remember. So yeah, that's that.
Case closed. Next.
I think that's a pretty solid expansion on who you are, and really in depth of how much work you actually put into the things you create. It's not like my 2-minute videos where it's just like I sat there and recorded raw footage and then just sped it up for time lapse or anything, you know.
So someone said, "We are the Spatula. Resistance is funny."
Someone also said you should hear them when they think they're alone.
Yeah, and should we say their names or should we keep them anonymous?
Nope.
No
Anonymous.
names. No names. Okay.
No names.
But the usual suspects.
On the time scales thing?
Yeah, probably.
Just give me an idea of time.
To pick up with the questions again. So we got that video part. But what about Elite Dangerous itself? How did you get into that game?
That was the fault of another friend of mine who is a real-life rocket scientist. He develops fuel. Well, he used to before he left the job, but he used to develop fueling systems for satellites, and then he'd have to fly off to Kazakhstan to watch the launches and make sure everything went okay.
Wait a minute. Fueling systems for satellites?
Yeah, they have fuel systems. They have to keep. They will eventually, depending on the satellite, they will eventually start drifting towards the Earth. They have to speed up from time to time, and so they got little thrusters on them.
When you say fueling systems, you're not meaning propulsion systems.
Yeah, propulsion systems. They have propulsion.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Yeah. So he used to design that stuff and build it and fly out to Kazakhstan and watch the launches. And so when he says something like is a good space game, I tend to listen to him. And so he's like, Scott, come watch this. So I was like, okay, it's a game. All right, you show me a game. And then he had it across 3 monitors, and he was using an X52. I was like, okay, all right, I really don't have time to get into games. You know, I used to play EVE Online a lot, and that just ate all my time. And then I had a quick go on his thing. So it feels quite nice, actually. It's why don't you have a go in his tutorial? He gave me a tutorial mission to do because he didn't trust me with his real ship. So I was like, this is quite good. Yeah. Got the feel for it. It says, why don't you come join us and then get the game and we'll play together. So and another friend, the guy who does the voice for Jane in the show, he's also playing it. So, all right then. One drunken evening, I pulled the trigger and bought the game. I was like, right, you guys, I'm here, create my account. So we did a load of stuff, went mining together, visited Guardian ruins, like when they first appeared after, what's his name found them? Forgotten his name. Oh, dear. Anyway.
Someone did.
Someone found them by triangulating the position from a video. And X-Death, that's it. Commander X-Death, he found it.
X-Death?
Yeah, he
that's
found
Final Fantasy villain. Yeah, Final Fantasy 5.
Right.
You fanboy, you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
great
we
game.
Went to see
great
them.
Game.
And and then they all stopped playing. So I was alone.
Oh, that's the worst. I got
you guys, you wanna play some Elite? No, To be fair, he was actually, my friend was going through some trouble with personal life stuff, so he wasn't playing anything at the time. So it was just me all alone. So I thought, all right, well, I'll do some video stuff, and got into that. And now they're coming back to the game again. So it's good. It keeps bringing people back into it. So people go away for like a bit of an extended holiday sometimes from the game, just to recharge their batteries or to deal with real life, because real life is more important. And then they come back. People always come back. Frontier are always adding to the game. People think that they're not. People think that they don't work very hard. They really do. They really do. I had
you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah. I had the great pleasure of going to see them, and had a guided tour of the building, and met the devs, met the sound guys, and we got the before the most recent Q4 update came out. We got to see that, which was really cool. We all had to sign NDAs, so on streams I was itching to talk about all the cool things that we'd seen, like the motherloads exploding and like all the.
I can imagine.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, we've talked with other people who like. Well, there was Truthsayer and someone else who have like they've actually visited, and they're like, yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff, but most of it's in the game. And it's like, what do you mean most of it? Like, ignore that.
Yeah, must not speak the words, otherwise David Braven will be banging on my door. Scorb! Oh, I'm so sorry, David. You said bring in the goons, because obviously.
Well, he couldn't say anything, could he? Because you were saying at the time with you and Plato, and you asked him directly which bit he was looking forward to most, and he couldn't tell you.
Oh, Adam Wood stopped him. Adam Wood, he was going to say something. Adam Wood said, "We can't talk about that, David. We can't say that." Oh yeah, we can't say. I'm like, tell us. We were so close. Just. Oh, Adam.
Damn you, Adam.
One thing it did instill on me while I was there, though, is just how much the people do care about the game. It's bonkers, the amount of passion that's there, and there's such a good chill atmosphere there as well, from what I could tell.
Oh, well, I don't know anybody at the top or anything like that, but just talking with some of the community managers, it's like they're busting ass, and they're doing it because they love the game themselves to begin with.
Yeah.
But they really like the community that has come out of it. And
it came out of nowhere as well, if you think about it. It sort of was saying earlier on, it's one of the things that's kept me in the game, where I could have gotten bored and gone play something else, because let's face it, there's plenty of games. There's a lot of games out there, but I keep coming back to Elite.
We could all be flying little green spacemen to Minmus and back. Yeah. Everybody knows what I'm referencing there. Don't even need to hide.
I am terrible at that game. I am so bad at that game.
I'm terrible too, so still, I'm playing.
Everybody dies when I play that game.
Yeah, I have got mech jab, so I don't even take real kerbals anymore.
I don't seem to think the plan through. So I build a big rocket, and there's that guy, Jeremiah, sat there. He's so happy. He's like, I'm in a rocket. And then you light it, and it explodes on the pad. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. And then there's another guy. He's there as well. Did you not just see what happened to the other guy? He died. But okay, I like your enthusiasm here. So we light that rocket. That one goes up. That one goes up. And he's like, yeah, he's big grin on his face. And then I realize I have no plan for getting you back down again. I'm so sorry. That's two dead. or I deployed the parachute too early because he's coming down too fast. The parachute burns up and he impacts in the deck, and you don't need to bury him because he's already buried.
Well, we're not talking about Kerbal Space Program. We're here in Elite, so
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring it back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was
that's
partially
okay.
my fault.
So you got into Elite. Your friend left Elite. What were you usually doing in Elite? Probably a bit of everything.
I try to do as much varied stuff as possible. I have a rule for myself not to grind. If I find something is feeling like I'm grinding, like if it's like, oh, this is so dull, I'm bored of this, but I gotta keep doing it because I want that tasty cutter, then I stop. I stop and I say, right, okay, I'm not having fun at this point. I take a step back and I go do something else. And I found that by doing that, I enjoy it more, and I end up getting to the ship that I want eventually anyway, through playing as my Ascorbius account. Ascorbius is out in Colonia at the minute, but Ascorbius, who's a villain, is he managed to rank up and get Fed rank. He could fly everything apart from a Corvette. I didn't plan on that. It just happened. It happened while I was unlocking engineers.
So
Just
going
flying
to
around.
Colonia was not a grind for you.
No, I live streamed it as well. I had people watching me because it was all part of the Dove Enigma expedition.
Ah,
Break my heart.
jealous.
It was wonderful
I
as
missed
well.
you guys. I missed you guys when you first went out there. I missed you by
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
48
I wasn't
hours.
playing back then yet.
Well, I mean, Nagi knows. I was on dead ends, so we were circling the galaxy, and at that time we were almost directly west at the very edge from Colonia. So I was like, I'm gonna fly into Colonia just to wave at all the Dove Enigma guys, and I missed it by 2 days.
Oh, mate.
But
Yeah.
I did make the 1-year anniversary a few months back with a couple of people.
It's really cool as well. Like what Frontier did was amazing. They put the mega ship in there for him, and we all managed to raise money for charity as well. So I started while I was streaming. There was a cancer charity. Yeah, that was it. Because Dove Enigma wanted to raise money for the Saint Jude's Children's Hospital, who help
yeah.
children with cancer. Yeah, so we were raising money for that, and we raised quite a bit of money over the course of the trip. I can't believe it's over a year ago now. But Ascorbius got stuck in Colonia because I was doing other things. Like I've written story for him in Colonia, so I can't leave. But I need to do live streams and things. I need to do things in the bubble. So I created another account. So then Ascorbius got stuck up in there for over a year, which is. But I've written that into the story because, like, so back from the other question, is there a story arc? Now there is. There didn't used to be, but now there is. So Ascorbius flew out to Colonia because of the Dove Enigma thing, because he asked Commander Machine, who was live streaming and fixing his ship up for the Enigma expedition. So they went out together, and all the prep work that he had to do, and that video. So that one's called Bored, because so Ascorbius was bored in an apartment, and it's like, oh, what am I going to do? I could go drinking again because there's pubs in the station, or really want to do something important, and so he flies out to Colonia in a Type 10, which is fun. And so that meant that it was tied in with Machine storyline and with Turgeon's storyline and Spatula's storyline as well. So it kind of forced story on me. I had to do that now. And in the meantime, I've got Ascorbius, who now there's a series of videos where he is a total villain. I decided to do a whole load of videos over Christmas without using any CGI, no lip syncing. Just let's see what I can do, old school. Ended up as the stories went on, I used more and more CGI, of course. But it was quite nice to do those because those videos took. I did them in a month, so 4 videos in a month, whereas Board took 3 months to make. So my videos typically take about 2 or 3 months to make, which is
That's a lot of time.
insane. It's absolutely insane.
I still need
But
to
you
watch
went
more.
to Polo Harbor to greet Josh.
Yep.
Are you
so
still there?
I'm still at Polo Harbor, yeah. So what I'm going to do, this is not in the story, so it's okay. It's okay. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be with Josh on the broadcast, flying back with him, back to the bubble, and I'm going to unlock some of the engineers, because there's engineers out in Colonia, and I can't use any of them. Not
Yeah.
a single one, because
And some of them are really good, actually.
I wouldn't know, because I haven't got any unlocked. I went Felicity, and Felicity was like, yeah, all right, I'll fix up your frameshift drive, right, fine. So I got that sorted out, so that my Type 10 will do, and it's fully. I have not done anything else to lighten it. It's fully armored, fully weaponed. It'll do 32 light years, which for Type 10, I was quite happy with that. I reckon if I stick a Guardian thing on it, I'll get 40 out of it. And if I lighten some bits, but then it won't be a Type 10 anymore, will it? It'll be an Anaconda Anaconda want to be. That's what it'll be. Can't get the words out. So I'm going to be flying from Polo Harbor to the bubble with Josh to because I'd like to see him in a new ship.
It's just gonna happen tomorrow, right?
No. So tomorrow, Josh is on holiday for a couple of weeks.
Oh, so
And
no broadcast this weekend.
not this weekend. Next weekend, I'm going to be doing the broadcast. So, and then the following weekend will be Josh back to normal after he's come back from his holiday. But this weekend, in case you got people who are going tomorrow is the Elite Meet up in Manchester in the UK.
Yes.
So lots and lots of commanders are going there, and we're just going to.
Yeah, one of our DJs, Eero Raptoro, is also there.
Okay, cool. Well,
Raptora.
Eero Raptoro.
Well, say hi. I'm going to be staying over there, so we'll be sharing some beers with some commanders if they want to join in and say hello. Then we'll.
Yeah, I can't make it, unfortunately. Also,
Yeah, me
tomorrow
too.
my new album releases.
Oh, right. Oh, you got to be there for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I could do it from anywhere, but I will be home for that. Yes.
Okay.
Back to you.
If anybody gets the chance to go to one of these things, I would heartily recommend it, because there's something about being with all of the commanders, all of the fans of the game, and the devs are often there as well. Paige Harvey will be there, and she's probably going to try to kick my ass at Gang Beasts again. Last year she's got a mean streak. She seems nice, but she's got a vicious side, I tell you. She tried to throw me in front of a train.
So Twitch is asking for you to be drunk.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, Chankk, encourage him.
Well,
No, we don't do that.
no, I do not encourage drinking, because the more other people drink, it means the less for me.
True.
I have done drunk streams before, and to the point where I couldn't even get a Sidewinder out of the mail slot, and I had Commander Plater watching, and he was just beating his head against the table as I was trying to engineer an E-rated frameshift drive, because I couldn't brain too good. I was just way too drunk.
E-rated. It sounds like an Adam move.
It was. He said to me that if I ever do that again, he's going to slap me.
I do have a B-rated G5 engineered FSD on a keel bag.
Yeah, well, I made a mistake too. I still
That's
own
not
everything.
The A-rated one wasn't available in Colonia, so I had no other choice.
Oh, see,
Exactly.
that was a sacrifice that you made because you didn't have any alternative. I was in the bubble in a sidey that I don't know why. Why was I in a sidey? And I kept getting it blown up. Oh,
I
that's it.
didn't engineer it in Colonia though. I used the 6E to jump back to the bubble and then accidentally engineered it.
You accidentally. How do you accidentally?
Yeah,
engineer
I
something?
thought, well, time to upgrade my frameshift drive.
And you
And
didn't
instead
switch it
of
down
checking,
before.
I didn't. I didn't check. I
Well,
thought
but
I had a
was,
new,
was this
bigger
with the
one.
new engineering or the old engineering where you had to roll the roulette 100 times?
Oh.
Well, I only when did the new engineering get implemented?
Oh,
New
About
engineering
a
was.
year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't play then yet.
It was Q1 for the last update.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't play Elite back then yet, so
You didn't play Elite?
No,
Why?
I am ashamed to admit that I have missed it entirely. I missed
Shane
out.
Bell.
I just blindly went past it. I had back when it was announced. I thought from some of the screenshots I was seeing, it was like Eve, and I didn't like Eve, so I didn't pay any more attention to the game until my best friend bothered me into it.
Oh,
Because he
dear.
said it was so amazing in VR, and well, I love it now. Once I tried it, I loved it, but it took a while. Last November.
Yeah. Well, if you show somebody Elite in VR, they're hooked. It's
Yeah,
like the
I
first.
didn't try it in VR. I just tried it.
Oh,
He
right.
he actually dropped the game because it was too
So-
complicated for him.
The same story, then, isn't it?
I would
It's
actually
the same thing.
I would actually say a really great promo for Elite is actually a what's his name? Up is not jump.
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
a video
he's
that's
great.
like Elite Dangerous in VR is a total nightmare, and it's like
That's such an amazing
that's
video.
the best way to sell Elite.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
It is a great. Don't know that one.
Yeah, because it was interesting because I'd been playing Elite now for ages. Watching his video and his like response, like playing it in VR, it's like, yes, I remember doing that as well. Yes, stars are terrifying. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. The first time one nearly hits you in the face, you nearly fall off your chair. Yeah, that was me as well. I did the exact same thing. Oh, because it is terrifying when you think about it.
I want to
Flying
play it in
next to-
VR.
Well,
I want
yeah,
Oh.
because
just-
in VR you're stuck in it. It's not like you can just like look out and be like, okay, I'm in my room, everything's safe. You're just there.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're in your chair. But if you do you fly with the HOTAS?
Nope. Currently, I'm using a gamepad.
Using a gamepad.
But a HOTAS is, of course, not out of the question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, gamepad's fine. Gamepad's fine. But trying to say that I've never played it with a gamepad. I tried to once and I couldn't do it because you have to remember all these combinations of like modifiers and there's only so many buttons. So
I love that about the controller system. The context system is what I love about it. I would even use that if I were using keyboard and mouse.
wow.
I'm actually
And
doing that
I'm-
right now, but my mouse is just for looking around and stuff like that.
I'm using keyboard and mouse in addition to gamepad, so I have a few hotkeys on keyboard.
See, I use a HOTAS, and I've also built an additional set of buttons, so that which match what you can see in VR. So because when you look down, you can see this like there's two panels that go over your legs, one on the
Yeah.
left, one on the right, and you can see switches on there. So I built buttons that match those, so that in VR I can activate other features like frameshift drive. I've got a big red button for frameshift drive. Because I can't use the keyboard, can't see it, and I don't have any other, and I'm not a fan of, because I have such a bad memory. I'm not a fan of having to have lots of modifiers for things because I forget. I just, how do I do this? Oh no, crash into star. How do I do this? And there's been times when I don't know what, I don't think I'd been on holiday or something. I got back, and the guy who got me into the game was being attacked by pirates, and I'd just gotten a federal dropship, which is a lump of iron with a rocket on the end and a cockpit at the front, and that's all it is. And I was like, I couldn't remember how to deploy hard points. I couldn't remember anything. So I just rammed things to death. And the dropship was fine. No damage to dropship. It just like, it was up against Cobras. If you hit them in the small of the back, they just go bang. So he died, of course, because I wasn't quick enough, but I did take them out just by ramming them because I don't know where my guns are. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I need all the help I can get, mostly.
No, ramming is a legitimate technique. Just buy a whale, get a railgun, shoot them once, and then as they fly straight at you, belly flop on them.
Oh yeah, it does work. And if you're gonna do that, use something nice and heavy, like a dropship. It's basically the steel.
Use an orca.
Orca.
Yes.
Yep.
The beluga belly flop.
The beluga is... You need shields, because the beluga is actually made of tissue paper, but the orca is just solid titanium or something. It's ridiculous.
And also it's got speed like hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, but it does have that ding when you boost, which I'm not a fan of. Every single time you press boost, it goes ding, boost, off it goes. It's always that dinging sound.
I want to hear that.
I can't remember that sound. It's been too long since I've flown one.
Sounds like a toaster to me.
Yes. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe the toast that you had in the back is now done.
The Bing Bong. That
Yeah,
one.
it's basically, and then the boost.
Elevator.
You will never unhear that now. Just like the hauler is haunted. If you're flying a hauler, it makes really spooky sounds, like as you're slowing down. It's and an adder is an angry Decepticon.
Yeah, and the FDL is a chopper.
Yeah.
I really love the sound of it.
I kind of like the beluga personally. It sounds like a jumbo 747 just taking off. But it does have that. It does have that
liner.
It does have that little ping. It's just that's a Sound Kruger thing. They all do it. But it's just like charging, and then you hit it, and it's like ding.
It's almost like dubstep, and that's the drop. It's like
Dubstep engine, imagine.
But the thing is, it doesn't give the passenger much time to sit down or put their seatbelts on, does it? Because it's immediate after that. So it's like, if you've heard that and you're not sat down with your belt, it's already too late. Your food is everywhere, and because the captain decided he wanted to boost into something. Or if you're unlucky to be one of Ghost Giraffe's passengers, then it's probably a wall or trying to get underneath the bits in those circular planetary bases. I don't know if you've seen them doing that. They are bonkers. They're absolutely bonkers. They're wonderful, but they're bonkers. I got a lot of time for Ghost Giraffe.
Yeah, they can take some blame as well.
Yes.
I gotta say, like that's two things that got me in myself was watching people videos, and I mean I used to watch Quixote's. I don't know if anybody knows Quixote, but he was a friend of Truthsayer back in Imperial Inquisition. But then he told me about Ghost Giraffe, and I started watching, and it's like when I think in my head of a montage of all the experiences that I've had in Elite Dangerous, what got me into it to where I am now, it all starts with the line, "This is Voyager 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like that movie, that video he made is so perfect. Like,
and then they stole the golden disc out of it, didn't they?
Yep. Yep. They made a whole series about stealing the golden disc.
Yeah. It was so funny.
What golden disc?
The golden disc of Voyager 1. Ghost Giraffe
I know.
Not Ghost Giraffe, actually. It was his partner in crime.
Yeah, it's Mars and Sparks.
Mars stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sparks is like, "What are you doing? What? No, that's the golden. We're in so much trouble. And then it's like, don't worry, they'll never know. Then the guys turn up. Oh, we better run. They've seen us. And then they did an entire bit on it. It's fantastic. But then they did another video about how they found it and how they got to that point, so that other people can get there as well. And that's the thing that Ghost Draft have always been very good at. And I don't know if you've seen their videos where they got to go to NASA and interview people for the that space telescope. I don't know if you saw that on their channel. It was fantastic. They basically they asked NASA if it was okay to go do it, and NASA said yeah, and they were really surprised. Is it okay if we go do a documentary on the James Webb space telescope?
I was going to say, was that Huygens? Yeah. No, it was James Webb. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, you can. They was blown away. Didn't expect them to say yes. So then they went and did the video. It was really good as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, I love Ghost Giraffe. So we're going to spend the rest of the time just like gushing on Ghost Giraffe. I think that's what we'll do.
Well, we've been talking about so many other
feel any better about
YouTubers
blame Scorbius,
and people making
Mars
videos.
Blames me. Mars blames me for getting him started. So if that makes you feel better, Scorb.
A little bit.
Well, we've talked so much about other people and other people doing videos and things about the game, but that's your thing. That's what you do yourself. And are there any upcoming things or projects that you might want to let us in on in our little group of maybe
I have a
30 people listening or watching? Just a small group. Just a small group.
It's
very exclusive.
It's like-minded commanders who are enjoying the game. That's the way I look at it. So there is a new video coming. I'm not sure exactly when, because my creative output has been slightly slacking for the first part of this year, because real life stuff has been a factor. I recently started work for another company. I don't want to say too much about that, but it does mean that I only really get like 3 or 4 hours after I get home from work. I have to be in bed and then sleep and get up early in the morning, and it's a real drag on the old creative stuff. But there is another Ascorbius video coming pretty soon, which features Commander Mini. So of the over-engineering fame. So he's always fun to work with.
Right.
So,
didn't hear of him yet.
You've not heard of Mini? Oh my goodness!
I've heard. I've not heard of a lot of people.
He was probably the foremost engineer guy with the old system. He knows everything about engineering, and he does live streams about. Well, he gathers materials, and he would do hundreds of rolls to get the ultimate engineered thing. So I think there are a couple of loose screws inside that head of his, but it is a wonderful head, and he's a lovely guy. But he's a little hat stand. I think he's a. He's not completely hat stand. He's on the line of being bonkers, but he's lovely. But yeah, if you ever want to know anything about engineering, check him out. Like he's gotten back into it because like the new engineering changes, because the way that he was doing the engineering, they basically killed the content that he was making, or he felt that like that. But he's back into it now. He's back on it, and he's teaching people how to do engineering. And yeah, I think he's going to be taking Josh Hawkins under his wing to get his ship engineered, teach him about it. So that's going to be good. So watch out for that.
Josh has got a lot to learn because he's been gone for 3 years.
It's 4. Did you see the last broadcast? It's been 4 years.
I missed it. I had to watch the VOD.
Oh,
I completely forgot. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was good. And so I was So I was flying to meet him. I was hoping to get there at the same time, but he sold all of his data, and he went from like 13 million.
19
Was it
million he was on. And
19
then he ended
million?
up with
Yeah,
it was
1.337 billion credits.
1,337
Yeah,
042,535. That's what
Yeah.
he had. At
So
the
he
end.
got elite in credits and he got elite in exploration at the same time.
Yeah.
So he's the only person that got double elite for exploration.
One
That
go.
I'm- Yeah, that was fantastic though, because he got all the money that he wanted, and now he's like, okay, fly back to the bubble, get another ship, and maybe fit it out and go do it again, which would be great. Because what I'm actually hoping for is more exploring the Milky Way galaxy with Josh Hawkins videos, because I really liked those.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I found one of his first ones I left a comment on. Actually, I think I was making videos at that point. I can't remember. It was very, very early days, and I was watching this, and I put a comment saying, "Do you know, if National Geographic exists in 3300, it would sound like this. This would be a National Geographic video," and that's how he was doing with exploring the Milky Way. We wanted to get back to it with 18 episodes or something. Lazy,
Yeah.
get back to it.
Yeah, he started introducing more story into it, and then real life happened, as it always does.
Again, it does.
Yeah. So real life is a pain, but it's essential.
This has been fantastic. I've gotten to know so much about you. I've already subscribed now, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've only known you through the others, Turgeon, Josh. So I gotta subscribe too and check out your actual channel.
Yeah.
I did watch your last Star Citizen live stream.
Okay.
That's nice.
Subscribe to Machine while you're at it, because he's close to 1,000 subscribers.
I gotta
Machine.
wait. I gotta wait for
There
the
too.
perfect moment.
Yeah.
Get him up there too.
If we can get Machine over the line, then he starts getting some extra features that YouTube have gated off. Like, thanks, YouTube.
Yeah.
can't have-
Yeah, stuff like monetization, I
Love
think.
that, don't
What
you?
the hell is
Yeah.
this? Okay, I found a notable stellar phenomenon just now, and it's nothing I've seen before.
Don't tell Josh. He's been looking for them for ages and he never found a single one.
He's not gonna get here.
Where are you right now?
Oh,
I won't tell you.
Nagi's
Yes, that's a
Nagi's
good
flying
call.
his stealth ship that nobody knows where it is because he doesn't friend anybody.
Yeah, he's on a secret mission.
Although you can see the location in the screen.
And
grab.
he keeps insisting that he isn't on a mission for me.
Oh no, Nagi's not the one streaming. That's just me.
Oh, okay. Dang it. I
You're-
thought it was being clever. there.
Your
Yeah.
strange bowl of
It's my
noodles
composition
galaxy there.
scanner. I can
But
Okay.
so I think
is that?
unfortunately I think we're closing in on time, which kind of sucks. But
What?
if you don't
Already?
mind, yeah, it's
We got
been,
1 hour.
I can stick around for a little longer.
All
I've
right.
got to get ready for
Well,
a
'cause
stream.
I think
in
this-
We
about 30
ride
minutes.
Gaia Tree.
I think this kind of builds on the stuff you've done and kind of the general idea of like what so many people making videos do is to see things and then share them with people, so it makes it not just it is a living universe with people and all this stuff, all these stories happening. But
Absolutely.
is there anything in particular that you have found in your time that you were just that was like something clicked and you were like, I'm never gonna forget that. That is, I mean, there's lots of that for everybody, but like maybe the top one or two, like what really hits you in this galaxy experience.
Okay. Well, it's a community thing. I think it was when it was to do with the Dove Enigma expedition, and we were we were on our way. We were on our way to the Dove Enigma, and somebody deactivated the Dove Enigma megaship. I'm not going to name any names, but there was a whole incident with unknown probes.
Oh yeah, actually, I got asked
Yeah.
about that when I was interviewed I was interviewed on DEC at the same time it happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
Not cool at all. And so what it meant was that when Dove Enigma got there, the station would basically be like deactivated for the most part. It would need repairing. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go do what I can. And I flew out to the Pleiades in my Ascorbius account. I bought an Anaconda, and I thought, right, I'm going to fill this to the brim because Anacondas are good at jumping. They are if you engineer them and make everything light. But when you first get one, they're not. I realized that at the time. That was one mistake that I made. I couldn't even jump out of the Pleiades after I bought all of the meta alloys. I couldn't get out. It was like too heavy. You wouldn't jump.
Well, they are free at Hutton Orbital, so.
Oh yeah. I didn't go there. But what got me was, so I was trying to do that, and I was going to live stream me jumping out there, like, let's buckyball out there. And before I could do anything, an entire armada of commanders had already started on their way, and there was a huge fleet, just a huge fleet of commanders just flew all the way out to Colonia, docked at the Dove Enigma, and said, "Here you go, have all of these meta alloys," and fixed it before we got anywhere near the place. Before the expedition even reached halfway, they'd already fixed it. And it was, for me, that was like, I have never seen that in a gaming community ever before, and I probably won't see it's like again. The fact that so many people wanted to help this one bloke who's got terminal cancer, who there was, thankfully he's still with us. He's cancer's a weird thing.
I met the guy, and he's so upbeat and so happy and so friendly, and it's just like, how could you not want more people like this to just be in the world?
Like, absolutely. So we all helped him there, and then when we got to the Dove Enigma and he arrived, there was this entire ceremony that was orchestrated with all the commanders there, with a laser show and flat cannons going off. It was fireworks and lasers. It was like, I'm suddenly at a Jean-Michel Jarre concert. This is unbelievable.
Oxygen, track 4. It's always track 4.
So the fact that everybody came together, it was just amazing. And then the second thing for me was I did a race, a Type 9 race. I organised a Type 9 race around the Pomesh 2C. Again, we were raising money for cancer research this time around. And the number of people who got on board with that and just donated, it was brilliant to see the community coming together and having a lot of fun. I had to write some software for it, so the only rules are that you have to be in a Type 9, and you had to fly below 200 meters. The lower you fly to the ground, the more points you get, and at the end of the race, you submit your points using the app that I wrote, and we could see everybody's position on a map. It was fantastic. I had a really good time with that. So we streamed the whole thing. It was just brilliant. Everyone coming together. That's what I love. That is what I love about this game. And now you're on distant worlds, thousands of commanders going out and leaving the bubble to burn when the Thargoids arrive. So thanks for that. So yeah,
it's
guys,
not our fault if we're not the ones who did it, you know.
No, I reckon Dr. Kai is the Pied Piper of the Pleiades. I reckon that's what it is. He's just gotten everybody to fly out. Yeah, let's go to the other side of the galaxy, guys. And off they all go. And then the Thargoids just rock up and go, there's no one here.
All right, let's go here.
So I reckon that's what it is. He's actually a sleeper agent for the Thargoids.
Well, I see nothing wrong with that. I didn't say anything.
It's really great.
Mykl is a pro bubble burner, by the way.
Yeah, I am.
Now these events, they make the news. They make the gaming news as well. And when something happens in Elite that's massive, everybody hears about it. It's because it's so unheard of. Like you never get that with other games. Like I'm not going to name any other games because another rule I have is not to be salty. I don't think salt helps anybody.
No, I don't
No,
think so
like
too.
we mentioned Kerbals, but it's because we love that game too.
Yeah. That's fine. It is a great game. It's
What
okay
does-
to talk about things you love.
What do Kerbals have to do with salt?
Um,
Are they well, I don't know what the word is.
maybe are they related to slugs in some way? That they
Yes,
don't
exactly. That's what I meant.
like?
I just wanted to ask if, I can't formulate it still. I wanted to ask it another way.
Yeah, because there's no nice way of asking that question, is there? Not really. It's because it's kind of a horrible thing.
No.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The Kerbals are actually the eventual evolutionary offspring of the Ninja Turtles.
Well, that explains the green
Ninja
skin.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
They're in a half shape.
in Japan you use salt to ward off demons. So maybe snails are demons. Next big reveal.
No, you're starting a whole historical culture thing, and I'm not going to do that here.
Oh, we've already had the main reveal tonight, though, that we're living in a simulation. Chickens prove it. We've already had
No,
that.
okay,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Hold on, I
Well-
missed this, and I need an explanation right now because that
Yeah,
is
go
not
ahead.
fair that I don't know what other people know.
If you care to repeat it.
Okay, all right. So I went to see a friend of mine, a guy who does voices on my show as well, Commander Yenots. He's also very handy at fixing things like HOTUSes and stuff like that. So I took my HOTUS was misbehaving, so I took it over to him. We had some beers and stayed over the night, and he keeps chickens and ducks as well. So we're sitting outside having a coffee first thing in the morning, and I noticed something. Like I had an epiphany. The chickens, they run on a clock cycle of 3/4 of a second. All of them do. Every chicken is synchronized. And they have this thing where they will move their head in a random direction every 3/4 of a second for no reason. They're not looking at something that's happening. They're not following a cat around the garden or anything. They're just looking around every 3/4 of a second in a random direction. So they are scripted. Therefore, they're not important enough that they need a full processor, so they spread the load across all the chickens. But it means that they're running on a very low clock cycle.
So
That's-
what you're saying
you're
is
saying
what you're saying is
It's a chicken
chickens.
hive mind.
No, he's not saying that they're hive mind. What he's saying is that chickens are Oblivion guards.
What?
Someone's
Which
proud.
Stop right there,
explains
Theo!
why-
In the name of the law!
It explains why if you kill a chicken in Oblivion, the guards know about it and they come after you.
Yeah.
Or if you kill somebody and a chicken sees you in Oblivion, then you automatically get a crime. They come after you because chickens are guards. But the also thing is like it's
My
speaks for
mind
itself.
right now is just so
Why-
far outside of
why-
my head, I can't even feel it anymore.
Why does everything taste like chicken? So because it's all
It
Yes.
saves
No,
bandwidth.
it's
yeah.
not that
To
everything
reuse-
tastes like
reuse
chicken.
flavor.
It's that chickens taste like everything else.
It's the ultimate root object. It's what all
Yeah.
other objects are inherited from. We're all inherited from chicken.
It's the
Yeah.
default. If you have a
Maybe
beta
that's
test,
why people like them so
Yeah,
much.
it tastes
They are so
chicken.
tasty because they taste like a lot of things.
Exactly.
They taste like everything at once.
But I
So
tell you,
that's how you know what everything, eating everything at once tastes like.
next time you see a chicken or a group of chickens, you just watch them. 3/4 of a second will go by, and then they will change their head position. Now, their bodies don't move in the same way. Their bodies move like kind of analog. So that's a different process running chicken transportation. But their
you
conscious
see that with
systems,
the old,
they run
with
on
the
a
old
different
chicken with the head cut off thing.
Yeah, you can
Exactly.
when you hold
There's chicken running around. That's what it is.
when you hold the chicken in your hands and you tilt it, it will keep the head position.
Yeah, that's a
Owls do that
gyroscope
too.
right there.
Yeah, that's not right.
That's because chicken heads don't have the same gravity
Yeah, they're on
processes
a
that
different.
the bodies do.
running on different protocols. So you turn the body around, and that moves, and the head stays in one place because
Yeah.
they're mismatched. You know,
And also pigeons. We were talking about pigeons earlier on. How they
pigeons,
are their brains and their bodies. They have a network, and there's lag, which is why the pigeon's head moves forward, and then the body rubber bands to catch up. Their heads always move first, and then the body rubber bands to catch up. It's all networking.
That's well, how we got to it was about with Turgeon's pheasant.
Yeah, the stupid pheasant. Yeah, rescuing a stupid pheasant, and he was doing that with a bobbing head thing, carrying a pheasant around. I'm moving, but my legs aren't. I'm being carried. What's going on? My head had better move as if I was walking because I don't understand. Yeah, that's pheasants. Bop,
Yeah.
bop, bop.
So funny.
It's terrifying that as ridiculous as it is, this all makes sense.
Yeah, and it's always as simple as it gets.
Yeah, we're in a
That's
simulation because of
mostly
chickens.
the truth. Yes. So okay.
Other
That's the
birds
big
don't
review
do it.
for tonight, guys. That's it.
Ducks don't do it either. Neither do sparrows. They don't do it.
Yeah. They all got more processing power. I
They
think.
were obviously given more processing power. Like crows don't do it. Crows that we noticed.
Crows are fucking intelligent.
They are, and they were in our history, so therefore important to humans. So give them more processing power.
Yeah, and they keep grudges.
They keep grudges.
Oh
Yeah,
no, they
crows
do.
keep
They
grudges.
legitimately do. Like, and
So don't
the
slight
weirdest
a
thing about
crow.
crows is like they recognize human facial features to such a degree that not only will they keep a grudge against an individual, but other people who are genetic offspring or have the same exact facial structure and features, they will
They go after
associate
families.
as being related. Yes.
My goodness, that's next level.
Yeah, and they teach it to their children also.
So it's like if somebody in your ancestry upset a crow, you are screwed.
Yes.
All the time. Why do these crows keep attacking? Well, because your great granddad Jenkins, he was the one. He was rude to a crow once. What do you mean, just rude to it? Well, we don't like to talk about it, but let's just say that the kids know now, and don't have children, otherwise they're going to be attacked by their children. It's a horrible war. It's going to go on forever. You can't stop it unless you kill all the crows, or they kill all of us.
Yeah, they're gonna take over the world. If your lineage continues.
It's revenge crows.
Oh God! Oh, so many ideas from that phrase right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, and this is where a murder of crows comes from. Surely that's
Yes.
because that's what's on their mind. Murder.
Well, I think their revenge might even be more sophisticated than murder.
Oh no! It's like, well, we can't get him. He's inside that metal box. We're just going to crap on it constantly. Every time he's washed it, we're going to crap on it.
What they'll do is they'll just like when you put your trash out, they will get into your trash and then drag your trash back in front of your house.
Do they write
like that.
like letters with it so they get all of your garbage out of the bag and they just write "asshole"
I've
in front of your
seen,
window?
I've
You
seen
go,
this happen in Japan. There was a guy who lived like in my old apartment before here.
Yeah, they're doing that in my town
There
too.
was a guy who literally like would chase the crows away from the trash, and so every weekend when people would put their trash out, the crows would actually like call up their buddies and they'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna get this motherfucker this weekend. Come on over." And they would just like tear up the trash and just scatter the trash in front of his apartment. Just his, because he would chase them away from the trash that other people put out.
Yeah, maybe they think he wants his trash back, and that's why he protects it.
do you think they'd just be nice? Oh, sorry, sir, but
Yeah.
you dropped this. Here, you
We
keep
just want to
dropping
bring
this.
it back.
You're so clumsy.
We're
but
just
no,
being
we don't mind.
helpful.
We'll help you. Oh, look at this one over there. He's worse than all the others. Oh, let's help him, shall we? All the crows come down. It's a big group effort, and they all help him. There you go, sir. We don't want anything for it. Although, if you have got some,
I just wanted to clear the name of crows.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like maybe that guy hated crows because they kept putting trash, and it's like it's just this continuous building of hate between the guy and the crows, and they just can't stand each other. And they're
All
putting
because of a
trash out, and he's
misunderstanding.
running out there chasing them away from the trash, and it's just like it keeps on going and going because he's like, if I don't chase them away from the trash, they'll put the trash in my
crows
yard.
have community goals.
It's a community goal. Do they have other
Community
birds
goal.
who like
Oh.
they're on the other side trying to stop the crows, like the sparrows? Are they like, oh, look, we gotta stop the crows?
They're ruining our BGS, those damn crows.
Yeah.
Oh dear. The background simulation in that town is ruined because this guy keeps putting the trash out. The crows keep having a community goal to go put it back on in front of his apartment. The sparrows are just trying to get stuff done. It's all going wrong.
Yes.
And all the time the chickens are looking on wherever
So
three-quarters of a second.
maybe the crows don't actually aren't NPCs in our simulation, but actual players. Perhaps.
Oh, they're players. Oh, that's
And
really
we are the
Just like us.
NPCs.
Just like us.
Oh, we're the NPCs in the simulation of the crows.
Okay.
Oh.
God damn it.
That just
So
got
do I
me-
have do I have to hand out quests now?
Yes. For crows.
Just quest givers.
Yeah.
They weren't being mean. They were just turning the quest in. That's all it was.
Yeah, the guy keeps telling him, wrong person, guys.
Oh dear.
There was a typo in the quest text.
Yeah, a
Trying
big
to
typo.
return it to wrong guy.
The guy, he was in Japan, so he wouldn't be like, stay a while and listen. He wasn't doing anything like that, was he?
I got. Okay, you see, guys, it all makes sense.
It does,
Of
but that's
course.
the terrifying part. That's why it's so frightening.
Yes.
You're not going to look at crows or chickens the same way again. He's watching me. He's watching me. And if that's a player,
Yeah.
I know that if I lie down, he's going to
You better be
teabag me.
careful.
That crow is going to teabag me. So back in the old days, like at least 5 years ago, they used to have those gibbets that people would be inside as punishment, and the crows would feast on their flesh and everything. So you get this, maybe just they had this crow pecking at this guy
Did you say
constantly.
5 years ago?
At least 5 years, at least maybe 6.
Right.
Yeah, so that'd be a torture, wouldn't it? They'd have people in this gibbet thing. It's in a cage hanging from a thing, and then the crows would eat them. So you'd end up with one crow pecking at this guy. Say, I nearly got this guy. He's gonna die. And then another player, because obviously it's another player, comes in and just finishes him off with a single peck. You kill stealing. And then
That's all the shouting that they do, yeah? No,
that's
makes
it.
sense.
That they are shouting about kill stealing and
That's them
calling you
talking in
a
general.
noob.
The griefers, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You don't really see crows by the side of the road getting hit by cars, do you? Because they are aware of the game. They know what they're doing.
They're good at it.
They're
really
very good at
it.
Yeah.
Better than we.
They're
Oh.
totally better than we are. We think we're so good, and we are not. We're rubbish compared to crows. Oh God, where are we going with this?
We're starting a crow.
Oh dear.
All hail the crows.
Maybe that's the only way.
Crow.
It's the only way to stop the
You
bloodshed.
got it all wrong. All the time you said don't feed the trolls, but it really is don't feed the crows.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. They were the real trolls all the time.
What?
Solving the galaxy's mysteries, one diazepam tablet at a time.
Yum.
Oh dear.
So, you feed him diazepam.
Try it. Might work. You never know.
How do you? I don't think I even want to know how you feed them.
I don't want to know what happens if it does work.
Isn't that an antidepressant? Don't they like just chill out?
It's not an antidepressant, but a sedative.
It's a sedative, so it's just
Yeah.
going to be totally chill. Like,
It's what they'd it's what they'd be feeding us once they realise what we've been talking about. All this time. There,
Oh,
come along.
just imagine you're sitting
Take
at a
your
cafe.
pills.
You're sitting at a
Take
cafe
your
and Crow comes in and puts it into your drink while you're not looking.
Yeah. There you go.
Crows
God.
roofie people.
Okay. Well, this took a dark turn here suddenly. I was sitting here thinking
seagulls are the ones that steal food out your head.
I was sitting here thinking like, hey, I could go like buy a beer and some French fries and just soak the French fries in beer and the crows would love it. And then Ascorbius is here like they're roofing people. And it's
So if you soak the French fries in the beer that is being roofied, what do you do to the crows? What's it called if you feed it to the crows?
I don't know.
well then
I don't know what it does.
then they get drunk and we can hang out and have a party.
Oh, that's what you want. Okay, yeah, I'm up for that.
Oh dear. My co-pilot has decided that he needs attention. He needs me. He's looking up at me. He normally helps me to fly the ship. He doesn't really help me to fly. He makes it really difficult. He sits on my knee and puts his head on my throttle arm so I can't like change throttle. So we call that flight assist dog. So he's it doesn't make life easy for me. It's always difficult when I'm trying to land as well. He's like,
Is it a dog behaving like a cat?
kind of. He never learned how to dog properly. So he thinks he's a person. He does think he's a person.
Oh no. That is a dog thing. Eventually dogs start to think that they are people.
Well, he kind of is people.
If you don't teach him otherwise.
Yeah, my sister's got dogs, and they are definitely dogs.
I regularly go to my dog and tell her, "You're not a real person. You're not a real person."
And I mean I'm saying this as somebody who loves dogs. I adore dogs.
Yeah,
but
I do
dogs definitely think they're people. And
Well,
and-
my
Don't tell that to
she's
Rusty
called
dog.
Ski.
and
So,
then it's like then you get the other side, like cats who think that they're like kings.
Gods.
Yeah, or gods, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you poor peasant humans, how sad is your existence?"
Yeah. Also, it's not that we domesticated cats; they domesticated us. If you
Exactly.
look at history, you realize that.
It's totally true.
That's true. Yeah, it's fact.
So we tricked the wolves into joining the pack to keep the other wolves away. So
For the dogs, we are the cats.
Yeah, with the wolves, it was really just like, you're a pack, we're a pack. We both want to kill this deer and eat it, and it worked out, and that was great. With the
it was
cats,
beneficial all round.
with the cats, it was, you have a couch and I want to destroy it, and we let them into our houses and they destroy our couches.
Well, we had rodents. We had mice and rats. The cat's just like, well, you guys have got those. I'm going to stick around, and you're nice to me, so I'll stay. I think, yeah, this is all right. Yeah. You're all right. Although now I own you. Don't you dare move.
I
It's
can't even
fine.
keep track of the Twitch because I've never seen this many people actually talking in it at once ever. So
Well, it's the usual suspect, Scorb, you know.
Hey, you
Well-
guys should tune in regularly.
yeah,
I should have you over here more often.
Welcome to the radio. we are actually this ridiculous all the time whenever we're streaming. So, but it has been a pleasure getting to talk with you and get to know you, Ascorbius. It really has.
Well, it's been really nice coming on as well. Thank you for the invite. I know you wanted somebody better today. Makes me sad, but I will be your stand-in.
Hey, you were.
God damn it! I wanted to avoid you thinking that.
Ascorbius, don't worry. You were only the 5th choice. All right.
Oh, I was the best of what's left. Oh no. Oh dear.
No, you were second choice.
You were actually second.
but-
I'm just being silly.
So we've got a choice. We can either get Tom Cruise or we can get this guy. Who
We can
nobody's
get
heard
David
of.
Braben or this guy who yells at his computer.
We were also trying to get Richard Wagner, but he's already dead. So
Yeah. Also, Einstein declined.
I wanted an explanation for Ride of the Valkyries, because it's like, in the opera, it still doesn't make sense. So why is that piece of music placed where it is and not about 10 minutes earlier before, what's it called? Come on, Nagi, Mykl, you guys are German, you know this.
I only know it really.
I didn't study opera.
I know
Me
it from
neither.
the cartoon, but when he's singing it in the cartoon, it's all about it's Elmer Fudd singing about "Kill the Rabbit." It makes perfect sense in the cartoon.
Yeah.
No, I
his
will
magic
say
helmet.
yes. I agree with you. The Looney Tunes translation does make sense.
Kill the rabbit with my magic helmet, and yeah, it's fantastic. It makes perfect sense. Everything adds up at that point. So I don't know if the original material doesn't make sense. I think I prefer the cartoon, the modern interpretation.
Well, because it's all after the battle and combat, and then it's like everything epic and amazing has happened. Now the Valkyries are going to come down and raise up the heroes to carry them off.
So
but it's like,
isn't
why
it
weren't the
because-
Valkyries riding before the battle happened?
Because nobody had died. They take the warriors, the fallen warriors who've died.
But they're
valiantly
gods. They
to
know it's
Valhalla.
going to happen.
Yeah, so they arrive on time. It's like, right, battle's done. Oh, I better go pick everything up. Oh, that's a mess. You're going to fit that on the horse? I mean, he did die very violently, but that's 8 axes in his head. 8! I didn't even think there was enough room in the head for 8 axes. All right, you can have on your horse. Right.
We're complaining about a 200-year-old opera, a 200-year-old German opera.
It's all right. I bought a bucket for that one. Take it on the bucket.
all we have left of him is what's in his boots. What do we do? I don't know.
The boots are muddy. They're not going on my horse.
Jesus Christ.
So it's this valiant thing, isn't it, afterwards? That all the bravery's been done. Everybody who died valiantly, now they get to go and ascend and have eternal feasting and stuff in Valhalla, and get taken up there by a buxom Valkyrie on horseback.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, it is great, but it's like that's the song that ends up being the most epic and powerful when it should be the battle music that's stronger. In my opinion. I'm just a drunk redneck. I don't fucking know. Sorry, pardon my language. I'm sorry. That slipped. Oof.
Could it be that the battle is the least important part? Humans have always fought each other, and an individual warrior's.
We're really good at
fights.
it too. I like my definition of humanity is monkeys who just learn to fling larger piles of poo at each other.
That's true. Instead of poo. Right, so this poo, right, this will explode when it hits the other side. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. We've got lots of those. Well, if you don't pay me for my exploding monkey poo, they will. So I am the first monkey arms dealer. So it's just... I'm sure that's what happened. Pretty sure there was a conversation. There was an impartial monkey who's teaching them how to sharpen sticks, and maybe there was a Tony Stark of monkeys.
Somebody's like, if
I
I
would
if I put a little tiny sharp sticks in my poo and then throw it,
Oh,
that's way better than
brutal.
just sharpening a single big stick.
And it's also that's nasty. Ooh. They didn't even know about infections. They think that you are some kind of god because no matter where he hits you, you will die. Oh, they didn't know about any of that stuff. No one invented the microscope yet.
For
Someone is gonna
for
turn
some
the-
reason now, I'm thinking in my
Someone's
head
gonna
of Planet of the Apes actually devolving into biological warfare.
Lol.
Oh dear. Yeah, why did we do that? Why didn't we build rockets sooner? Why aren't we actually exploring space right now? That's what I want to know. I'd like to be in. Well, if I was to
Curiosity.
We've been born too early.
Who was it? Somebody just crashed something in the moon. It wasn't a landing. It was definitely a crash.
Oh yeah, it was that was Israel, wasn't it? They sent a probe. They
Was it?
wanted to. Yeah, they wanted to land a probe on the moon and take some pictures, and all they got. Oh, they got there. I mean, hats off to them. It's amazing getting it there in the first place. But they just had a slight technical glitch towards the end. So they did take a picture, and it was of the moon. But then the probe was terrified, and it impacted very, very violently into the surface of the moon.
Yeah, they ended up rebooting the entire system for the for the probe. So,
But it's too late, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it was
didn't.
too late.
They did know it was too late, but they did it anyway, and that's why they didn't receive any more telemetry from the
Can you
called landing.
imagine the panic in mission control? It's like, oh, we're losing control of the probe. It's going down too hot. What should we do? Kevin, what should we do? Have we tried switching it off and on again? Right, let's do that. Do that.
And it
Damn it,
didn't
that was a
work.
terrible idea. It's broken now. I'm the janitor. Why did you ask me?
It's funny because you say it so much faster, but I hear it in my head as the dude from IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Like
Yeah,
just
you come out
really
of the recording
slow,
and-
totally droll, no emotion,
You're welcome.
and it's just like we have 18 seconds, and he's like, have you tried turning it off and on again? And it's like, well, you just wasted 5 seconds of my life, so no, I haven't tried that.
You can just imagine the panic in that room, though, can't you? It's like everyone's saying everything quickly. No one's thinking it through. It's like,
Quick,
someone,
reboot it!
quick! Oh no! Bang! So it'd been a bit
Oh dear.
bad. Yeah,
And then you gotta remember, rebooting your system fixes stuff in Elite.
that's true. But
Yeah, but
not
it
when
takes
you're
time.
hurtling towards a planet. Here's a challenge for you. Who's done speedball stuff?
Oh, I have.
I
have-
I've only done speedball in SRVs, but not in a ship.
Oh, it's hilarious. Do it in VR as well because that's terrifying. But so what you do, get yourself so for those who don't know what speedball is, there was recently a competition, but they've been doing that out in distant worlds as well. They are crazy. Let's do a thing that's really, really dangerous, really far away
I've
from
been a
anywhere.
part of that.
Well, it's because that's
I've been doing
because we on Distant Worlds. Well, should I say we on Distant Worlds? We had a commander who found the first double-digit G world, proper 10G.
Yeah.
You know, 10.66. So and then of course everybody's like, "Oh, I want to fly my thing in. I want to fly my ship into that." But try not to crash at 10 kilometers above the ground. And a lot of people died.
Yeah, of course they will. They hit the ground at Mach 10 or more. So you think about it, because I was doing it I was in a Viper because I didn't want to risk anything bigger than that. So I was like 200 kilometers up, and so then it's turn off flight assist and boost forwards, and then just use a little bit of upward lateral thrust and pitch up a little bit. For some reason, that makes you go maniac fast as you're heading down to the planet. you have to keep your if you want to hit a target and not just fly around in circles and barrel roll to death. It's I made a couple of
You
pancakes.
you have to keep a certain angle.
Yeah. Good, 'cause you've got
That
flight
angle
as well.
decreases over time the closer you get to the ground.
Yeah, and it gets really hard and fast. You don't believe how fast you're going. Like, we don't believe how fast we're going in Elite anyway. We don't really have that much sense of scale. But when you are going over the planet at Mach 10 or above, you really know you're moving. You really know. And the
Oh,
ground is coming up really fast. Pull up. And then I've got Tato Chip in my ear saying, don't pull up, Scorb. Don't pull up. Keep that's good. That's good. Okay, you're on it. Pull up. Boost now. Oh my god. Bang.
The thing is, if you do it right, you can hold the altitude and the speed just above the ground.
Well, somebody actually did break the record at the I shouldn't call it the 10G. It's got an official name. It's Newton's Acropolis, right? Yeah.
Already, I didn't ever get that name.
Yes, it has been officially named by. So it was.
Is it on the map?
It was discovered by Dr. Digital, and it was reported and tagged. No, Dr. Digital tagged it. It was reported by paper airplanes, but Dr. Digital did finally name it as Newton's Necropolis, and it was pretty much instantly accepted and put up.
It's not on EDSM yet. At least I don't see it on the map.
Yeah, I don't think it's been added to EDSM and all that, but it is like as proposals, it's pretty much just like instant thumbs up. Yes, of course. You know.
So are they going to name it in the game as well?
No, I don't think so.
No. This is just EDSM.
It's a very rare occasion that they actually rename systems in the game. Like Rendezvous Point is one of such example.
Yeah.
Well,
it's an actual system name.
Isn't there a station around Sagittarius A star now? Well, Sagittarius A.
Yeah. Explorer's Anchorage is the system. Or Explorer's Anchorage is the station, but the system name is still just SID D2-25, whatever.
No, it's Jume something. Yeah, you can't really pronounce it.
I'm so glad they renamed Colonia because that was an obscene name to try and. So where are you? I'm at Gold.
Yeah.
I'm here. Just find me on the map.
There we go. It's Steamy. Well, I call it Steamy. Stew my FGY D7. Look at this thing has 4 freaking numbers. D7561. What kind of system is that?
Well,
cool one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's the closest Earth-like to Sagittarius. Is the only reason it's of any importance. But now it has Explorer's Anchorage there, and it has a research facility, and it has a prison ship a jump away. So there's a chance that there's
a prison ship there.
Because people are not supposed to death warp to Colonia.
Yeah.
How bad do you have to be in lore terms to be sent to the center of the Milky Way? Like, we really don't want this guy escaping. That's like Alcatraz, isn't it? It's like and if you don't behave yourself, we'll launch you into the black hole. So there's that.
What's he doing? Whistling on a Tuesday. Oh, better send him out there then, hadn't we?
So it's the equivalent.
Whistling on a Tuesday.
We used to send people out to Australia, so it's the equivalent of that. It's like, this guy's been so bad, we're going to send him to Australia.
Oh my goodness! I don't even bother calling it. I don't even bother calling it Explorers. I just call it Anchorage. I'm just going to start calling it Australia from now on.
Australia.
Yeah. XA was the shorthand for it, I think.
Remember because that people wanted to call it EA.
Remember that community goal to build up. Remember that community goal to build up Australia? Man, what a failure that was.
Didn't didn't even reach tier 11.
Oh,
That's because of
Nagi.
the gankers from New Zealand. That's why they didn't like it. We're going to be
Okay.
upsetting some.
You'll have all the
people in
Kiwis
Australia.
all over you now.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee.
So
Oh,
I'm coming.
God. Yeah, those
What
are
are you
my, those are
talking
my
about, mate?
followers, actually.
Oh, no. What have I done? They're
Oh.
worse than crows.
No,
Over
it's
here in
him.
Japan,
Him.
everybody who listens to my radio show
Dear
is
the
from
Grapers.
Australia.
Let's say it's
That's pretty
Steam.
close, isn't it?
The Kiwis. No, that's it's Steam. So,
By the way, the sector
they're really
name for
nice
Colonia is Eel Plow.
Yeah.
yeah, he'll
And then a bunch of indecipherable or unpronounceable letters after it.
bureaucratic page numbers. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, dear. Right, I do have to leave you guys, I'm afraid. It has
Yeah, I
been
thought it was about time.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for inviting me on. It's been a right laugh. So,
It was fun. Really fun.
So everybody who's currently exploring, I will say goodbye to you guys and have fun and fly aimless.
And you're gonna
Hey,
stream
that's
now,
a
right?
one.
Yeah, I'll be streaming in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
What
All
will
right.
you be streaming?
It's a different game to Elite, and
Star Citizen.
it's going to be Star Citizen. Yes, the 3.5 update dropped, and it's going to have a
Okay,
look
so
at that.
guys, stay listening to the radio. It's better than Star Citizen.
Ooh.
No,
Radio
I
throwing
did-
shade.
it's too soon.
I try to avoid the tribal stuff as much as humanly possible.
Yeah. Also, it's not about being better or worse. It's totally different.
It is. You can't do what you guys are doing right now in Star Citizen at all. You can't go exploring all around the Milky Way. Elite does space better than any other game.
Like Kerbals and everything else, or what's the Galaxy Simulator or whatever. It's not about being better or worse. You're absolutely right. It's just about being the best.
Is that the definition of elite?
You got
Now
me.
you know
Yeah,
why
playing
you
word
want
games. You got me. You got me.
Yeah, go on.
Well, on that bombshell. I'll catch you guys later. Have fun tonight.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
you
being
too.
here,
Okay,
Ascorbius. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
I'll pop off with him. I have to sit in with him.
Yeah. Okay. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah.
Time to
this
make dinner.
was the interview with
Ascorbius. You forgot his name.
yes.
Sad.
I was reading something. Apparently, I shouldn't do that.
Do you want me to do
this
it?
was the interview with Commander Ascorbius, and yeah, okay, do it.
All right. So this has been Distant Radio interviewing us, Commander Ascorbius, whose YouTube channel you should all follow and watch his videos, as well as with Turgeon on backup, with your hosts over on the radio, that Mykl,
Yo.
Dr. Nagi
thanks.
here as well.
Yeah.
Ow.
Jeez. And I've been your video host, and I still don't know why the galaxy is on fire.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Good night or good day or whatever. Good time zone. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you when I see you.